What's up, guys? My name is Seth, or Mavericks, whichever you prefer, and you're watching Dude Where's My Dragon. In this video, I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. I've recorded it once before, but I wasn't really happy with how it turned out. But I want to talk about my experience with schizophrenia and basically, I'm talking to all the people who have schizophrenia right now, and maybe people who want to learn about schizophrenia. And I don't know too much about it. I mean, I do, but I don't. I mean, it's so basically schizophrenia is when you have um, your brain produces too much dopamine, and you can't really process it, and then ooh, yikes. It's tough, man. It's tough having schizophrenia. I mean, in my experience, like a couple years ago, it was really tough for me to like cope with my symptoms and stuff. And over time, I I found different coping skills. And oh, there's a little pop up in my computer. I found different coping skills to help me with it and stuff. And so I guess I'll go back to the beginning. When I turned 18, I went into a mental hospital because I was in psychosis. And I thought I could hear people's thoughts in their heads, and I was paranoid that people were going to kill me. And I thought my parents didn't love me, and they were burning all my pictures. So, for an example, um, my stepdad he visited me with my mom in the mental hospital, and he was doing like landscaping, and he had like black mulch on his hands, and it just looked black. So I just like had this delusion where he was burning all my pictures, and that's why his hands were black and stuff. So it was just little stuff like that, and it really fucked with my head. And slowly over time, after I got out, I was only in there for a week, and then it was hard at first to get like out of the mental hospital, and kind of like re um, kind of like reintroduce myself back to society, I guess. Because being in a mental hospital is weird. It's really weird because there's other people in there that are going through like some other like stuff that's not good, and it's difficult. But trying to recuperate and get my mental health in order. I was recommended a psychiatrist and a therapist, and luckily I was lucky enough to have a medication that worked for me. At first, I didn't want to take it, and it was tough because I thought they were trying to poison me, and eventually I was like, all right, I need to take these pills because something is not right with my brain or with my head or whatever. And so I started taking the medication when I was in the mental hospital. Actually, the night that I went into the mental hospital, I took one um, risperidone, and I was like, okay, this shit is gonna kill me. But I had this like feeling that like I had to take this, and then I would get better. So I started taking my medication the night of the institutionalization. I don't know the word for it. But I took the medication, and I started talking to my therapist and my psychiatrist and whatnot. And over time, I got better and better, and the delusions started going away, and I started thinking a lot about like my mental state and my delusions and whatnot, and kind of instead of going down the rabbit hole and following those delusions, I would think about those delusions, be like, okay, is this really logical, and is this really set in reality, and is this true? And eventually I learned how to recognize my delusions, and to recognize when I'm having a delusion, and to prevent that thought from happening, But occasionally, it's really different for everybody else. Like not everybody like can do that, and I feel bad for those people just because some people just can't function properly, and they find it difficult to cope with their symptoms and stuff. And my heart goes out to those guys. I feel for you, and it sucks, but you're gonna get through this no matter what. Just stay strong. Um, and where was I at? So yeah, I was talking to my therapist, and uh, it took a while. It took about 2 years for me to be actually diagnosed with schizophrenia. And at the time, I knew I had it like a year in. A year post psychosis, I knew I had schizophrenia. Nobody really told me that, but I was like, okay, I kind of have a feeling that I have schizophrenia because I'm hearing voices in my head, and I'm having these delusions. And I was like doing research about myself, and my parents were doing research as well. And my psychiatrist, I think it was last year, um, my psychiatrist was like, hey, so I kind of have this diagnosis for you. And I was like, all right, I know what it is. I have schizophrenia, right? And she's like, yes, you have schizophrenia. And it is what it is. And it was kind of surreal for me, and I kind of felt numb uh, for like an hour afterwards. It was really weird because I knew I had it, but it's one thing to like think you have something, and then to be actually diagnosed by like a someone with a PhD in whatever she has. I don't know. But yeah, it was really surreal for me, and I gained a lot of weight just because I was depressed, and I was like, "Fuck, this sucks." Um, but I think I think the main reason why I want to get this out is because other people suffer from this mental illness, and I know there's like kind of this stereotypical like, oh, I'm gonna put these people who have schizophrenia in this label that they're all crazy and they all can't function in society, and I should stay away from them. But everybody's different. Everybody's mental illness is different. It affects them in a different way. Not everybody's, schizophrenics aren't fucking violent. I'm sure some are, but the majority of schizophrenics aren't violent, and they're not gonna like hurt you. They're just something's wrong with their brain, and it's just tough. Um, but I feel like a lot of like popular influencers like Joe Rogan and stuff, they'll like just throw out the name schizo or schizophrenic, and they'll just put it in a category like, okay, so if this guy is crazy, then he's schizophrenic. Or like he was talking. So I'm gonna give you an example. Joe Rogan was talking to the guy that says the frog, the water in the frog, the water or the chemicals in the water make the frogs gay. Fuck, I forget his name. Um, but he was talking about the majority of his listeners are schizophrenic, and they were doing like they were going to people's houses and stuff and whatnot. I don't really remember all of it because I clicked off when I started listening to it. But I feel like Joe Rogan does that a lot, where he says schizo or schizophrenic, and it's just kind of like, it doesn't exactly piss me off because I don't think he's very like well educated about it. But I feel like a lot of people do that, where they're like, okay, he has a mental illness, so that means that something is wrong with him, and he is. I don't see him as a real human being, maybe, or something. I don't know. I can't really like talk for people because I don't really care what other people think about me. For the most part, I guess. But yeah, just know if you're going through this mental illness right now, just make sure you take your medication. Make sure you see a therapist and your psychiatrist, and just keep in your mind that you're gonna get better over time. It may not get like you're not gonna be normal. You're not gonna get to the point where you're 100% okay. and you don't have symptoms, maybe you will, and that would be awesome. That would be A1. But that doesn't happen. Like it hasn't happened for me, and I've been diagnosed for 3 years or 2 years. And I don't think I have this feeling that I don't think it will ever go away, and I don't think I'll ever be 100% and won't have any symptoms. Maybe I will. Who knows? But just stay strong. It's gonna get better. Make sure you take your medication. And you listen to your doctors. They're not out to kill you, and they're trying to help you. And I just hope this reaches people with mental illnesses, and anybody with a mental illness. Just make sure you take your medication and live your best life. Make sure you focus on your mental health and your physical health, and stay strong. So I think that's all I really wanted to cover in this video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And you're watching Dude, Where's My Dragon? See you guys.